Hello, I'm Al-Marie. Welcome to our 6th lesson on measurement. In this lesson, our focus will be on calculating volume. We're again going to focus on rectangular prisms. Now, you've learned in the previous lesson how to calculate surface area. We are also going to investigate the relationship between surface area and volume. But before we start our investigation, let's go to Asanda and see what questions do the learners have.
Hey guys, it's our last day at Parkrand Primary. I've had loads of fun, but there's still a lot of work to get through, and you know, my friends have only got one thing to say. Welcome to Parkrand! Well, as you can see, let's get to it. Hey guys, it's another day at Parkrand Primary, and in today's lesson we're going to be looking at volume 1, and to help us out is Joel. How are you doing?
I'm thinking yourself.
I'm very well, thank you, Joel. So why don't you tell me the kind of stuff you like getting up to?
I like playing computer games such as Need for Speed and Grand Theft Auto. I also like playing a little bit of chess.
Okay, a bit of chess.
Yeah.
Super. I've got to deal with someone at your school who's going to teach me chess. Do you want to help out?
Yes.
I really need the help though.
Okay.
Cool. Why don't you go ahead and ask your question for now?
What is the difference between surface area and volume?
Well, what is the difference?
We will investigate surface area and volume and the relationship between them. But before we do that, let me link what we're going to do to our curriculum. We use measurement all the time in our daily lives. Mass, capacity, volume, length, and time are part of every day. We would not be able to make sense of our world without these concepts. These concepts are even part of our bodies. How tall are you? How much do you weigh? Our world without these concepts would be chaos. Just imagine a world without time. In our previous lesson, we defined surface area as the sum of the area of all the faces of an object. We determined the surface area of a rectangular prism by calculating the area of each face and then adding the areas. Surface area is measured in square units. Volume refers to how much space does an object occupy, or how much space is inside an object, like for example a rectangular prism. Volume is measured in cubic units, for example cubic centimeters. If we want to determine the volume of a prism, we will need to determine the space inside the prism. So to conclude, surface area is the area around our object, while volume is the space inside our object. And remember, surface area calculated in square units, while we calculate volume in cubic units. I would like you to complete activity 1 in your workbooks. You need to describe the differences between surface area and volume. Let's see what other questions the learners have about volume.
Hey guys, thank you so much. Next up is Delaney. Delaney, how are you?
Fine, thanks, and yourself?
I'm very well, thank you. So what job do you want to do when you're finished?
I want to be either a singer, an actress, or a zoologist.
Okay, those are very different. Well, the zoologist at least, but hey, you can do whatever you want, right?
Yeah, I
cool
suppose.
stuff. You've got a question for us, don't you?
Yes.
Go ahead.
How do I find the volume of a prism?
Well, how?
As volume is the space inside a container, for example a cube, we can fill the cube with little blocks, and if we know what is the volume of each block, We just count the number of blocks and we know the volume of our cube. Let's have a look at an example. Here is my cube. I've started filling it with little blocks. I know that each of these blocks is 1 cubic centimeter, but I have a problem. There's still some spaces left and I can't get the blocks in. Can you see there's a space and there's some spaces? So maybe counting blocks is not the best idea. Fitting the blocks inside the object or the container is not that easy. Why don't we rather just use blocks and build a prism or a cube that's exactly the same size? Then we can just count the blocks. Let's have a look. Here is an example that we're going to investigate. Now we have our block. All we need to do is count the number of blocks we used to make our big block or make our object, and then we'll know what is the volume. Now I have used some 1 cubic centimeter blocks. Let's see how many we have. Well, here's my block, but you can't really see what I've done. What you can see is that it's 4 by 2, but if I turn it this way, you'll see it's also by 3. Now, how many blocks did I use? Well, let's start. That was 8, and then another 8, and then another 8. Altogether, 24. And remember, these are cubic units. 24 cubic centimeters.